The Ghana card is a relatively new feature of our national life and has its merits in the scheme of things. At the moment, it's being brandished more as a political tool around which all manner of schemes are being fashioned towards elections. There is a need to allow sufficient time for its full integration into our way of life before this kind of unhelpful exclusion of all other legitimately acquired, credible, and time-tested forms of identification of who a Ghanaian is implemented. The National Identification Authority cannot claim to have covered every Ghanaian who should be registered or distributed all the cards printed to those who have been captured in their system. They have failed to distribute hundreds of thousands of cards to people who have registered. Until full and total coverage is achieved in the rollout of the Ghana card, room must be provided for those who have yet to be served to exercise their democratic rights of voting. They cannot be excluded from the voter register due to no fault of theirs. This should be clear, quite clear, and easy to appreciate. The haste on the part of the Electoral Commission to exclude all other means of identification is therefore clearly indecent and informed by ulterior objectives. Last week, you in the minority raised red flags over suspected attempts to compile a new register on the sole basis of the Ghana card. The Electoral Commission was quick to deny that it harbors any such intentions. Until the advent of the current leadership of the Commission, this denial would have ended the matter. Unfortunately, this Commission in its present form is known to have walked back on similar commitments in the recent past. And so we in the NDC will maintain eternal vigilance to ensure that no such thing happens. NDC and the minority group in Parliament will not be supporting the ultra-expensive $1 billion syndicated loan agreement brought to Parliament by the Honorable Finance Minister. Our position on the $250 million component remains unchanged. As such, unfavorable terms as the $45 million insurance payment and total interest payments over $80 million make it too expensive and inimical to the economic interests of Ghana. It is also not programmed in the 2022 budget. Until the terms are renegotiated to make them favorable and the same captured in subsequent budgets, we are unable to support the approval of the $250 million component. On the issue of the $750 million Afri-Exim component, which was programmed in the 2022 budget, in 2022 he provided for international borrowing of $750 million, so it was provided for. We know that since my position was stated a fortnight ago, some efforts have gone into renegotiating the cost and terms, which now appear more favorable than when it was originally presented to Parliament. Clarity is, however, yet to be brought on the exact purpose and use of the loan. On the evidence of what we have seen so far, you've done what is within your power to shield Ghanaians against some draconian and very poor policy choices of the Akufo-Addo administration. You've stood firmly and pushed back against blatant abuse of parliamentary rules and standing orders. Sometimes deploying unorthodox methods, you have held a marauding government that has viewed itself as invincible and that treats Ghanaians with contempt. You've held them at bay and prevented them as far as possible from ramming very unpopular policies down the throats of our people. And this is what former speaker called Bugabuga. He says, don't go for the speaker, but you can go for his chair. If the chair is going to be misused, you can go for it. As you have done this, the Akufo-Addo administration has intensified its efforts to whittle down your numbers. It has not shied away from using bizarre judicial processes to achieve this objective. A case in point is how our MP for Asin North remains an MP, yet is barred from performing his functions in Parliament. This has unjustifiably and inexplicably denied the people of Asin North representation in Parliament.